Hi. So today let's talk about planning the trip. So what's the difference between really planning a trip and sort of playing mind games with yourself that you are planning, but you're not, there's really not going to be a trip. It's sort of like I will do my homework versus you actually have the book open, you're doing your homework, or I will lose weight, I will work out, I will apply for that job versus you've got the application, you're filling it out. There's a big difference. So for a trip, to me, the difference is did you make a commitment? And usually that's a financial commitment. If it's a short trip, maybe a different city in the state, the same state, maybe you don't have to make that financial outlay, but you have to make a time commitment. You have to budget time on your schedule. But usually it's a financial commitment, right? So if you're going to go somewhere, the way you really know, and then you can start daydreaming about your trip, is if you've um, put some money down, especially non-refundable money down on the trip. You can always get it back. You can get travel insurance, of course. Um, Airlines will give you the money back or they'll let you use it for another trip. So let's talk about 10 things that would be nice to do if you're planning your trip. 10 items. Number one, probably let's assume you're going to fly. You're going to want to get the airfare. So that would be one. Then when you get there, you're going to want to get around somehow. So you've got to decide: are you going to Uber? Does that city have Uber? Maybe it's a different country. Do they even have Uber? Are you going to taxi? Are you going to ride the train? Are you going to stay stationary? Are you going to get a car? You have to get the rent a car, right? Third one would be if you're going on a ship. If you're going on a ship, there's a lot more planning involved, right? You have to choose which ship, which cruise, and see if they've got room for you. Which cabin are you going to get? Put some money down, book it, right? You got to book it. Sometimes there are people booking 2 years out, more. At some point, usually, you're going to stay in a hotel, most likely. You've got to pick which hotel. Not just going to show up at the airport, don't know where you're going to stay, right? So look for a hotel, then you're going to look for what activities you're going to do. You're going to go visit. Let's say you live in California. You're going to go visit Boston. You want to know what you're going to do in the day. Why are you going to Boston? What would you do there? Why are you going to France? Why are you going to Spain? Why are you going to the Caribbean? So you want to kind of look and see what activities would be fun to do while you're on your trip. Uh, you've got to arrange for what you've been doing won't be happening while you're gone. So, for example, if you're working or if you're babysitting somebody or raising little children, you're going to be gone. So, someone's got to cover those activities. So, certainly planning what's going to happen on the trip side is one thing, but what's going to happen to the activities that you have been doing is another part, an essential part of the trip that has to be planned. And of course, your living situation where you are. If you have a house, who's going to pick up the mail? Who's going to mow the yard? You have pets. Who's going to take care of your pets? Right. Then you have to have the funds to go on this trip. You likely are not going to be making the money that you would be making during this 2 weeks, let's say, or a week. You'll be off work, so you'll have less money there. And where's the money coming from? So you have to sort of budget it out. Actually, putting money down makes it very real. And then you know, oh my gosh, I've got to fit this all into $2,000, $5,000, $15,000, whatever the amount is. And you have to sync. This is another idea. You have to sync with the other people going on the trip. Uh, it's probably not you going on your own, if it is, you have to sync with the people that you left behind or the people you're going to communicate with, maybe. But usually, you're syncing with either your mate, your companion, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, or maybe your whole family. It's not usually a dictatorship. They have to kind of agree. They have to be in on all these little decisions of where you're staying, what airline you're taking, what seats on the airline. And of course, if it's a big trip going abroad, you've got to make sure you have your passport. It's up to date. Do you need any visas to get into the country that you're going to? You've got to check. They're always changing the regulations. In fact, now, for example, you've got to have a certain. It's not really a visa, but it's a certain document to get into England. They didn't have to have that before. Uh, you've got to make sure if you need shots, if you need any sort of vaccines. So there's at least 10 items that you have to do in planning the trip, and it's all fun. If you start early enough, there's no pressure, no time pressure. You just do a little as you want, and it's very enjoyable. It should be enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, you're rushing it. And uh, it's should be as much fun as the trip itself, planning it. Nice to chat with you. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye bye.